Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to a new program. Welcome to a new class. Welcome specifically, empiezan por S esta palabra. Welcome specifically to class number 147. Okay, not bad. Not bad. 147 classes up to now. We're making definite progress. Okay, let's move to camera 1 and review class 146. All right, to go. The past tenses went several years ago. Yeah, several years ago I went to Texas by way of Miami. Yeah. I flew from Madrid to Miami, non-stop. Vuelo directo, sin escalas, non-stop, N-O-N-stop. I flew non-stop from Madrid to Miami. I spent, I think, 3 days in Miami. And then I drove, and then I went from Miami to Orlando. And then I went from Orlando to Jacksonville on the Atlantic coast. And then I went from Jacksonville to Savannah, Georgia on the Atlantic coast. And then I went from Savannah to Atlanta, the capital of Georgia. And then I went from Atlanta to Biloxi, Mississippi on the Gulf of Mexico. And then I went from Biloxi to New Orleans, Louisiana. And then from New Orleans, I went to Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge, palo verde, palo rojo, que digo yo. Baton Rouge, the capital of Louisiana. And then I went from Baton Rouge to Shreveport, an important city in the north of Louisiana. And then I went from Shreveport to Dallas, Texas. And then I went from Dallas to Austin. Okay, and then I went, and then I went, and then I went. Y después fui a, y después fui a, y después fui, and then. I went, he went, she went. Tercera persona singular no vale en el pasado. Es igual, no tiene ese al final. I went, he went, she went, they went, we went. Pasado, digo pregunta. Did you go? Did she go? Did he go? Negative, I didn't go, she didn't go, they didn't go, etc. It's very easy. But remember, the most important here is and then, and then. And then, porque tenéis la manía muchos decir and after. No, and then. All right. Number 1, estás bebiendo mucho. You're drinking a lot. A lot. A lot. You're drinking, you are, contracción, you're. Hierba, hiedra, yellow, you're. You're drinking a lot. ¿Por qué me estás mirando? Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me? Estoy escuchando la radio. I'm listening to the radio. I'm listening to the radio. I'm listening to the radio. Lo que hago por vosotros para recordar las cosas como tú con listen. ¿Qué estás leyendo? What are you reading? What are you reading? My favorite student, what are you reading? Siempre lees cosas así. Do you always read? Presente habitual ahora, no presente continuo. Ahora no es una acción en vías de realización. Antes sí. ¿Qué estás leyendo? Porque veo que estás leyendo algo. Estás realizando una acción en vías de realización. What are you reading? Marquis de Sade. Do you always read things like that? Do you always read things like that? ¿Qué les estás diciendo? A ver, what are you telling them? Are you telling them strange things? Are you telling them lies? Are you telling them funny stories? Are you telling them tall tales, cuentos chinos? What are you telling them? What are you telling them? Él tiene teléfono. He has a telephone. Ella tiene dos hijos. She has two children. She has two children. How many children do you have? How many kids do you have? Ask me how many children I have. Richard, how many children? No estoy diciendo children. Children, no, children. How many children do you have, Richard? I have two children. They are grown. They are grown. They're not children anymore. They're adults. I have two children. Él no tiene coche. He doesn't have a car. Do you have a car? Does Maria have a car? You don't know? Well, ask me. Richard, does Maria have a car? I don't know. Maria, do you have a car? Yes, she does. She has a car. Ask me what kind of car she has. What kind of car does she have? Maria, what kind of car do you have? She has a Mercedes 390. Wow. También quiere ser regidora. All right, yeah. She has a beautiful car. Wow, it's expensive. Do all the floor managers have cars like yours? I don't know. Do you have a car? Does your wife or husband have a car? Do your children have a car? Does your boss have a car? What kind of car does your ¿qué digo yo? What kind of car does your boss have? Bus is autobús. What kind of car does your boss have? Does your dentist have a car? What kind of car does your dentist have? Does your dentist have a flat in the city? Does your husband have a Rolls Royce? Does your wife have a mink stole? Una estola de bisón? Okay, ella no tiene dinero. She doesn't have any money. Do you have any money? Ask me if I have any money in my pocket. Richard, do you have any money in your pocket? Yes. I have 3 euros in my pocket. 2 coins. I have one euro coin and I have another 2 euro coin. So I have some money in my pocket. La factura no tiene número. The invoice doesn't have a number. And I have to go. But I'll be back in just a few minutes to continue.
Hello and welcome to Vaughan Inglés 4.0. My name is Alberto Alonso and I'm your teacher for today. That's right. Yeah, I'm here to help you learn. That's right. Are you ready to learn? Are you willing? ¿Estás dispuesto? Are you willing to learn? If not, I can't help you. But if you're willing, then I can help you. And ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to my student who is very willing to learn. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jaime. How are you, Jaime?
Fine, and you?
All right, I'm okay. Are you willing to learn?
Yes, I will.
I'm
willing.
I'm willing and able. Esto es una expresión muy común en inglés. Decimos, soy dispuesto y capaz. I'm willing and able.
I'm willing and able.
Eso es. This is a great expression because, vamos, estoy para la labor. I'm willing and able. And you have to be willing, and I think you're all able. Capaces somos todos. Es cuestión de ponernos un poco, ¿no? Okay, ask me what we're going to look at today, Jaime.
What are we going to look at today?
We're going to look at go. Very common verb, ¿no? Es un verbo que usamos muchísimo en cualquier idioma, ¿no? Fui aquí, me voy allí, mañana vamos aquí, voy al trabajo. Se usa siempre. Entonces, ¿qué queremos? Dominio de este verbo, ¿no? Si es uno que usamos siempre en cualquier idioma. So, every day I go. Yesterday?
I went.
Yesterday I went. Went. All right? So let's practice it a little bit, all right? Now, I'll say it with every day and you give me it with yesterday. Okay? Vamos a ver. Every day I go to the shop.
Yesterday I went to the shop.
Yeah, yesterday I went to the shop. Okay? Every day he goes to Gijón.
Yesterday he went to Gijón.
Yeah, yesterday he went to Gijón. Qué bien pronuncias Gijón.
Thanks.
He's like, thanks a lot, thanks. Okay, did you go to the bank yesterday?
Yes, yesterday I went to the bank.
Yes, I went to the bank. Okay, did you go alone?
Yes, I went alone.
Do you usually go to the bank with friends?
No, I don't used to go.
I don't usually.
I don't usually go to bank with friends.
You don't go to the bank with friends. Do you like to go out?
Yes, I like go out.
I like to.
I like to go out.
Me gusta salir. Do you like to go out alone?
No, I don't like go out.
I don't like to.
I don't like to go out alone.
I don't like to go out alone. Okay. Do you like to go out with friends?
Yes, I like to go out with friends.
I like to go out with friends. Did you go out with friends yesterday?
No, I didn't. I didn't go out with friends yesterday.
I didn't go out. Did you go out of your house yesterday?
No, I didn't go out.
Oh, wow. Lucky day. Yeah. I went out. Ask me if I went out of my house yesterday.
Did you go out yesterday?
Yes, I went out yesterday. I went to a lot of different places. I went
great.
to a restaurant. I went to work. I went to a cafeteria. I went to a lot of places. To go. En pasado,
Went.
went. Apréndelo porque lo usamos siempre. Okay, are you going crazy?
No, I'm not going crazy.
Did you go crazy yesterday?
Maybe. Maybe I went to.
I went crazy.
I went crazy.
I
yesterday.
went crazy yesterday. We all went crazy yesterday. Okay, translation list number 51. Okay? Estás bebiendo mucho.
You are drinking a lot.
You're drinking a lot. You're drinking a lot. Ask me.
Are you drinking a lot?
No, I'm not. ¿Por qué me estás mirando? This is Robert De Niro. Lo tienes que hacer con un poco de actitud. ¿Por qué me estás mirando?
What are you? Why are you looking at me?
Okay, one more time, pero quiero estilo De Niro. Why are you looking at me?
Why are you looking at me?
Eso es. Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me? Because I'm talking to you. That's why you're looking at me. Okay, let's continue. Estoy escuchando la radio.
I'm listening the radio.
Ahora, ¿te acuerdas cómo no usamos el to en varias ocasiones? Pues con el listen siempre lo usamos. Porque no decimos listen me, es listen.
To me.
Ahora, pónmelo con radio. Estoy escuchando la radio.
I am listening to the radio.
I'm listening to the radio. One more time.
I'm listening to the radio.
Okay, how do you say escúchale a ellos? Escúchales a ellos.
Yeah, listen to him.
Okay,
to them.
ellos. Yeah, listen to them. Acordaros siempre listen, a no ser que es escucha a secas, no pones to, pero el momento que ponemos qué estamos escuchando, ponemos to. Listen to me. Hazme caso. Listen to me. Okay? ¿Qué estás leyendo?
What are you reading?
What are you reading? Good. ¿Siempre lees cosas así?
Do you always read this kind of books?
Okay, these kind of things, or things like that. Things like that, cosas así, right? ¿Qué le estás diciendo a ellos?
What are you telling them?
Yeah, telling nunca con to. So hemos establecido call nunca va con to. Tell va con to?
No.
Okay. Asistir, ¿cómo se dice?
Attend.
¿Y eso va con to o sin to?
Sin to.
Muy bien. ¿Y listen?
Listen to.
Eso es. Ok. Es cuestión de aprender dónde va el to y dónde no va el to. Ok. So, ¿qué le estás diciendo a ellos?
What are you telling us? Telling to us.
No, sin to.
Telling us. Telling them.
Eso es. Dámelo otra vez.
What are telling them?
What are you telling them? What are you telling them? Y la última, ella tiene 2 hijos.
She has two sons.
2 children.
Two
Hijos
children.
sería
Two
masculino.
children.
Children, cualquier. Okay, we'll see you next time. Ciao.
Okay. Every day I finish this class. Every day I finish this class at 10:30. Yesterday I finished this class at 10:30 as well. Okay. Let's work on the verb to finish in the present and the past, and especially in the present tense, third person singular. She finishes, he finishes, it finishes. Okay, let's go to camera one. Okay, now ask me what time my wife finishes work. Richard, what time does your wife finish? Finish what? What time does your wife finish work? She usually finishes around 7:30. She usually finishes around 7:30, but sometimes she finishes around 8. She usually finishes around 7:30, but sometimes she finishes around 8 o'clock. Now, ask me what she does when she finishes work. Well, Richard, what does your wife do when she finishes work? Well, my wife, when she finishes work, she usually goes home. When she finishes work, she usually goes home. Ask me if she went home last night when she finished work. Richard, yes? Did your wife, a ver, ¿cómo termino esta frase? Did your wife go home when she finished work yesterday? Very good. Now repeat more naturally. Did your wife go home when she finished work yesterday? No tienes que repetir así, dilo normal. Well, did your wife go home when she finished work yesterday? Yes, she did. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. Ask me where she went. Richard, where did your wife go when she finished work yesterday? She went to the airport. Ask me why. Oh, Richard, why did your wife go to the airport when she finished work yesterday? Well, she had to pick up my daughter at the airport. She had to pick up my daughter at the airport. So, yesterday, when my wife finished work, fijaos que yo no digo finished her work o finished my work. La palabra work es una palabra curiosa. Work como sustantivo, no como verbo, to work. Okay, work. Work es el trabajo. Cuando terminó el trabajo. When she finished, work. When she started, work. Well, yesterday when she finished work, she went to the airport to pick up my daughter because my daughter was coming back from a trip. Okay? And after she picked up my daughter, she came home. Ask me what I did when I finished work yesterday. Richard, what did you do yesterday? What did you do yesterday after you finished work? Por cierto, ¿puedo decir when también? Por supuesto. Okay, what did you do yesterday when you finished work? Or what did you do yesterday after you finished work? O sea, ¿puedo decir finished en ambos casos? Por supuesto que sí. ¿Por qué? Bueno, porque en español no decimos lo mismo. Cuando terminaste o después de que terminaras. Huh? Okay. Well, in English it's the same. When you finished, after you finished. But I don't remember your question. Repeat the question. Richard, what did you do last night or yesterday after you finished work? After I finished work last night, I went home. Yeah, I went home. I was tired. Now ask me if my wife finishes work before me. ¿En pasado o en presente? Pues escúchame. Ask me if my wife finishes work. ¿Cómo? Finishes. Present tense. Ask me if my wife, not finished. Bueno, vamos a hacer los dos. Primero el presente. Ask me if my wife finishes work before me. Richard, does your wife finish work before you? Yes, she does. She usually finishes work before me. She usually finishes work before me. My wife finishes work between 7:30 and 8 p.m. And I finish work, yo no digo finishes aquí, digo I finish work between 8 and 8:30. But yesterday, I think, asked me if she finished work before me yesterday. Did your wife finish work before you yesterday? No, she didn't. Did she finish after you? Yes, she did. Ask me why. Why did your wife finish work after you? Well, yesterday I finished work at 8. And my wife finished work at 8:30. Ask me why. Why did your wife finish work at 8:30? Because she was killing time. Matando el tiempo. She was killing time. She was waiting to go to the airport to pick up our daughter, and asked me what time our daughter arrived. Well, what time did your daughter arrive? She arrived at 9. So my wife worked until 8:30. She finished work at 8:30, and then she went to the airport. But I finished work in another place at 8 o'clock, and I went home. I went home when I finished work yesterday. She went to the airport when she finished work. So I finished work at 8, and she finished work at 8:30. And I went home after I finished work, and she went to the airport after she finished work. But usually she finishes before me. Usually I finish after her, and she finishes before me. I finish, she finishes. Pero en pasado es lo mismo. I finished, she finished. You finished, they finished, we finished. Okay. We finished going. Si lo hacemos terminar yendo, terminar de ir, we finished going. Okay. I'll be back in a few minutes after our sponsors to finish this segment. All right. Remember, there are certain verbs like to finish, to watch, to wash, that requires an additional syllable, in the third person singular of the present tense. Every day I watch. Every day she watches. Every day I wash the clothes. And every day she washes the clothes. Every day I finish this program. Every day she finishes. And yo sirva más. Watch, watches. Wash, washes. Finish, finishes. Pero los tres verbos que acabo de decir en el pasado, watched, washed, finished. Okay, and finished, I finished coming. Terminé de venir. I finished coming. Okay, we'll see you in a few minutes.
Hello everyone, my name is Layla, and today I'm here with my student Pilar. Pilar, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you. And you, Leila?
I'm doing great, thank you. And at home, are you ready to practice? Are you ready to practice?
Yes, I am.
Okay, very good. So today, we're going to practice, we're going to drill, machacar, the verb finish, okay? In the past. Okay, so now we're doing the sequence of all the verbs in the past, so we're going to do finish, okay?
Okay.
Can you tell me the sound in the past?
Finished.
Okay, good. Is it a T or a D?
A T.
It's a T, exactly. Finished, okay? That's why it has that sound at the end. So, finished, okay?
Yes.
So, I'll give you a sentence, okay? And so I'll say every day, and then I just want you to give me the same thing, but telling me in the past.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Okay, so every day he finishes.
Yesterday, she finished.
He, right?
I said,
He.
yesterday he finished.
Yesterday, he finished. I want to hear the T at the end.
Okay, yesterday he finished.
Very good. Okay. Every day, she finishes.
Yesterday she finished.
Okay.
Yesterday,
Okay, that D sound. Yesterday.
okay, yesterday she finished.
Okay. Every day, they finish.
Yesterday they finished.
Who?
They finished.
Very
Okay.
good. Okay. Now don't forget that TH sound. Every day, or yesterday, they finished. Okay. Remember that TH sound. All right. Very good. Okay. So now I'll just ask you a lot of questions in the past.
Okay.
Okay. Just with the verb finish so that we can practice. All right.
Okay.
And you guys remember to always just practice out loud with us. Okay. All right. Did you finish yesterday?
Yes, I finished yesterday.
When?
Yesterday.
Very good. Okay, now tell me the whole thing one more time.
Yes, I finished yesterday.
Very good. Okay. Finished yesterday. Now here we can even link the sounds together. Finished yesterday because we have the T sound and then the Y. The Y is an I sound. Okay, even though it's a consonant sound, it's an I sound. So I finished yesterday. I finished yesterday. We can link it together. Okay.
Okay.
Can you link it for me?
I finished yesterday.
Very good. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Did you finish at 5?
Yes, I finished at 5. I finished at 5.
Okay. Very good. Now link the sounds for me.
Yes, I finished at 5.
Excellent. Okay. Yes, I finished at 5.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. When did she finish? Okay. She finished at 5. All right. Very good. Okay. Did you finish at 6:30?
Yes, I finished at 6:30.
Oh, I didn't hear the T in the end. One more time.
Yes, I finished at 6:30.
Okay. Very good. Now with just a little bit more confidence.
Yes, I finished at 6:30.
Okay. Now with the correct time.
Yes, I finished at 6:30.
Okay. Very good. All right. Ask me if I finished at 6.
Did you finish at 6?
Okay. Yes. So what is the answer now? Yes. I finished at. Okay. Linking the sounds. Yes. I finished at 6. Okay. Ask me ask me if I finished at 8:30.
Did you finish at 8:30?
Shut. One more time.
Did you finish at 6:30?
8.
8:30?
One more time.
Did you finish at
So finish at
finish at 6:30?
8:30.
Did you finish at 8:30?
Okay, very good. Now she's not linking the sounds, okay? I'll say it for you. So, yes, I finished at 8, okay, because it's the T and then the E sound, right? So, yes, I finished at 8:30. Okay? Say it for me one more time.
Yes, I finished at 6:30 or at 8:30.
One more time.
Yes, I finished at 8:30.
Okay, very good. All right. Did you finish the day before yesterday?
Yes, I finished the day before yesterday.
Okay, very good. Now just explain to them what the day before yesterday means.
The day before yesterday means
So, not yesterday.
not yesterday, but the day before, so antes de ayer.
Exactly. Okay. So, the day before yesterday. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Did you finish the week before last?
Yes, I finished the week before last.
Exactly. Okay. Did she finish the week before last? Yes, she finished the week before last. Okay. Now just explain to them what the week before last means.
It means hace 2 semanas.
Okay. So, in English?
It means 2 weeks ago.
Exactly. Okay. So, not last week, but the week before that. Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Ask me if I finished the month before last.
Did you finish the month before last?
Okay, one more time.
Did you finish the month before last.
Very good. Okay. Yes, I finished the month before last. Okay, so again, yes, I finished the month before last. Okay? Did they finish last night?
Yes, they finished last night.
Who?
They finished last night.
Okay, very good. Now one more time.
Yes, they finished last night.
Very good. Okay, now don't forget those TH sounds, okay?
Okay.
All right. Ask me if they finished yesterday morning.
Did they finish yesterday morning?
Yesterday morning. One more time.
Did they finish
Yesterday morning.
yesterday morning?
One more time.
Did they finish yesterday morning?
Are you saying did they finished?
Did they finish?
No T, right?
No T.
Okay, no T
No, no.
there, okay?
No, no, no.
Because we have the did, right? So if the auxiliary verb is in the past, the main verb stays the same.
Okay.
Okay, one more time.
Did they finish yesterday morning?
Okay, yes, they finished yesterday morning. Okay?
Okay.
Ask me if I finished last night at 10 p.m.
Did you finish last night at 10 p.m.?
Okay, very good. All right, so the question, did you finish last night at 10 p.m.? Because remember, we can always link the sound. So the answer, yes, I finished last night at 10 p.m. Okay?
Okay.
Well done. All right. So
Thank
the verb
you.
finish and finished in the past. Okay? So thank you very much and goodbye.
Okay. I usually get here on time. In fact, I almost always get here on time. No, to tell you the truth, I always get here on time. This show starts at 9:30 in the evening, and I get here at 9:15. They put on makeup, and I start. Okay. I often change to camera 1 at the beginning of the program. In fact, I almost always change in the first minute. So I'm going to change now. Let's change, all right? Verbos de frecuencia, verbos de tiempo, time adverbs or frequency adverbs. Always, almost always, usually, often, sometimes, seldom, rarely, hardly ever, and never. La tierra nunca jamás. Never, never land. Dos veces. No lo confundáis con la antigua casa de Michael Jackson, que se llamaba Neverland. Ahora, la tierra de nunca jamás es never dos veces. Never, never land. Okay? No era always, always land. It was never, never land. Okay? 100% is always. Siempre voy a la playa en verano. I always go to the beach. I always go to the beach in the summer. Aquí no hay excepción. I always go to the beach. I never go to the mountains. Polos opuestos. Always 100%. Never 0%. I always go. Ahora, 98%. I almost always go to the beach. Almost always. Casi siempre. Almost always. Y casi nunca voy a la montaña. I hardly ever. Hardly ever is casi nunca. Almost never, pero no solemos decir almost never. Es correcto, pero no se suele decir. ¿Sí? Hardly. Apenas si alguna vez voy. I hardly ever go to the mountains. I almost always go to the beach. Ahora, vamos con usually. Suelo ir a la playa, pero a veces voy a la montaña. I usually go to the beach. Pongámoslo 85%. I usually go to the beach. Sometimes I go to the mountains, but seldom, pero pocas veces. Seldom. Seldom. S-I, ¿cómo suena? Seldom. ¿Cómo suena? S-E-L-D-O-M es pocas veces. No muy frecuente. I seldom go to the mountains. I usually go to the beach. I often go to the beach. Podría ser 60% de las veces. I often go to the beach. And sometimes I go to the mountains. Yeah, I often. Yeah. So, I always go to the beach. I almost always go to the beach. I usually go to the beach. I often go to the beach. I sometimes go to the beach. I occasionally go to the beach. I seldom go to the beach. I hardly ever go to the beach. And I never go to the beach. So, ask me questions. Come on. Yeah, questions. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for your questions. Come on. Okay, are you ready? All right, shoot. Shoot. Richard, how often do you go to Africa? I seldom go to Africa. Richard, how often do you write letters? Longhand? Mano larga significa a mano. Longhand? I never, no. I hardly ever write letters longhand. Richard, how often do you use the computer? I use a computer. Oh, I always use a computer. Every day. I always use a computer. Almost every day. Okay. Richard, how often do you call your sister? I sometimes call my sister, but not very often. Not very often. About once every 2 months. More questions. Well, Richard, how often do you hit Maria? I hardly ever, casi nunca. I hardly ever hit Maria. Only when she deserves it. No, I never hit Maria. Well, Richard, how often do you shout at Maria? I never shout at Maria. Richard, how often do you raise your voice? Raise my voice? I never raise my voice. Come on, Richard. How often do you raise your voice? No, I never raise my voice. Come on. I never raise my voice, okay? Never. Okay. Vale, okay. You win. Okay, you never raise your voice. I believe you, okay? Richard, how often do you hit your students? I never hit my students. No, never, 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 never. I never hit my students. Come on, tell it. I said I never hit my students, okay? Okay. Richard, how often do you congratulate your students? I almost always congratulate my students. Yeah. Well, almost always no. I usually congratulate my students. Richard, how often do you play checkers? Checkers? Yeah, how often do you play checkers? Jugar a las damas. Checkers. Yeah, checkers. I never play checkers. Never. Well, how often do you play Chinese checkers? I never play Chinese checkers. How often do you play chess? I hardly ever play chess nowadays. Hoy en día, I hardly ever play chess. How often do you stay in a 5-star hotel? I seldom stay in a 5-star hotel. I don't stay in expensive hotels very often, no. Seldom. Not very often. How often do you go to Germany? I hardly ever go to Germany. I've only been to Germany twice in my life. Well, Richard, how often do you go to Italy? Oh, I often go. I often travel to Italy. I enjoy going to Italy. I like Italy, so I often go. I often go to Italy. And Richard, how often do you drink water in class? I always drink water in class if there's water in the cup. Richard, how often does Maria forget to fill the cup? She often forgets to fill the cup. In fact, in my opinion, she almost always forgets. ¿No ves que queda poco? Yeah. There's very little water left because she almost always forgets to fill the cup. Y me deja seco aquí, since in English. And I need to moisten my lips to speak. But she almost always forgets. Always, 100%. Almost always, 95 digamos. Usually, 80. Often, 60. Sometimes, 40. Seldom, 10. Hardly ever, 5%. Never, 0. Okay. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Hello and welcome. My name is Kyle, and thank you so much for joining me today. I'm here today with Esther. Esther, how are you?
Great, Kyle. Thank you. And how are you?
Good. Fantastic. Doing fine, thank you. Esther, today we are going to start, as it's part 3 of the class, with our 5 words of vocabulary, right? As always. Are you ready?
Yes, let's go.
Okay. The first one, colgar, el teléfono.
Ching.
How do you say that?
To hang up.
To hang up. Phrasal verb.
Yes.
To hang up. Hang up. Again?
To hang up.
To hang up. Hang up. Today I hang up. Yesterday I
Hang up.
hung up. Today I hang up. Yesterday I hung up. Very good. Number 2, galleta,
Biscuit.
biscuit. Now, your vocabulary guide says biscuit, galleta, biscuit. I have a bit of a problem with this because I say, what do I say? I'm North American, so what do I say?
Cookie.
Cookie, exactly. I say cookie. For me, if it's sweet, it's a cookie. If it is savory, it is a biscuit. But this is not the rule. This is my personal opinion, I will say. So cookie or biscuit. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to get in an argument. Right? No quiero discutir con los británicos. I don't want to argue or disagree with any British people, so I will say cookie or biscuit. In your vocabulary list, biscuit, biscuit, biscuit. Okay? Number 3, salud,
Health.
health. Again?
Health.
Health. Yeah, health. Health. Look at my tongue. Health. Health.
Health.
Again?
You want to see my...
Yeah, I want to see her tongue. Health.
Health.
Health. Right, health. Very good. Number 4, el hombre del tiempo.
The weatherman.
The weatherman. Yes, it is not the man of time. It is the weatherman, right? the weatherman. The weatherman says it's going to rain. The weatherman. Okay, number 5, presión.
Pressure.
Pressure. Pressure. Again?
Pressure.
Pressure, pressure, pressure. 3 times?
Pressure, pressure, pressure.
Good. At home? Pressure, pressure, pressure. Good. Very good. Okay. Sometimes I like to talk about sometimes, often, and never. Okay. I never talk about these topics in Japanese. I often talk about them in my English classes. I sometimes discuss these words, right?
Yeah.
Frequency adverbs, right? Sometimes, often, and never. No vas a fiestas. How do you say that?
You don't go to parties.
You don't go to parties, or you never. Well, okay, no vas a fiestas. You don't go to parties. And if I say nunca voy a fiestas, that's what. Nunca voy a fiestas? How would I say that?
I never go to parties.
I never go to parties. Steve juega al tenis una vez al mes. So Steve plays tennis once a month.
Once a month.
So what can you say? He plays tennis a veces?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. He plays tennis sometimes. Okay. And then Jackie va a la biblioteca a menudo.
Jackie goes to the library often.
Yeah, often, often. Now, we have 2 potential pronunciations for this. Often and often. Often, 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 often. Whichever one you like. You have freedom, right? Liberty, freedom here. Often, often. No problem, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I will tell you a sentence, and then you can make a logical conclusion using often, sometimes, never. Okay? So, vegetarians don't eat meat.
Vegetarians never eat meat.
Vegetarians never eat meat, right? Mm-hmm. The Rolling Stones play Satisfaction every time. You know the song Satisfaction?
Yes, the Rolling Stones play Satisfaction always.
Well, they always play it. In fact, I said here I was only going to talk about never, sometimes, and often.
Often.
If I say they always play it, then well, they
Yes.
always play it. Yeah, but they play concerts often, right?
Often.
And when they do play, they always play the song Satisfaction. I eat fish twice a week.
You eat fish often.
Yeah, you eat fish often. Or you often eat fish.
Uh-huh.
Right? Can you repeat that?
You often eat fish.
Yes, I often eat fish, yes. How often do you eat fish? How often do you eat fish?
I eat fish 3 times a week.
3 times a week, all right. My brother doesn't eat seafood.
Your brother never eats seafood.
My brother never eats seafood. Repeat at home in voz alta. Your brother never eats with the S, third person. But your brother never eats seafood. What is seafood?
Marisco.
Marisco, yeah. We have seafood and also shellfish.
Yeah.
But shellfish, it has a shell, un casco, right?
Una concha.
Una concha. Okay, but also a crab has a shell.
Yeah.
Cangrejo, so it's shellfish, or clams, or mussels. But for me, anything, I'd say that anything that comes from water is seafood. It's food from the sea, right? If it has a shell, it's shellfish. If it's from the sea, it's seafood. So we have some seafood is shellfish,
Yeah.
right? But there are types of seafood that are not shellfish as well, right? Okay. He works late once a month.
He often works late.
He often works late. Very good. She drives every day. Every day. She always drives. Or, well, we could say she often drives if we want to practice. Often, often, often or often. Okay. I don't speak Icelandic.
You never speak Icelandic.
Exactly, never. I never speak Icelandic. Do you ever speak Icelandic?
No, I never speak Icelandic.
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 Icelandic. Okay. Okay. My mother makes spaghetti twice a month.
Your mother makes spaghetti often.
Yeah, she makes spaghetti often. Yeah. Often or sometime twice a month? Is that often?
Well,
She sometimes makes
Sometimes,
spaghetti.
yes.
Yeah, I would say, yes. She has tea every morning.
she always has tea.
Yeah, yeah. If it's 1 cup a morning, maybe you could say she often has tea, right? Mm-hmm. She calls her sister every week. So she often calls her sister. Mm-hmm. The king appears in the newspaper regularly. The king often appears in the newspaper. Very good. And great job, Esther.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay. Class 147. One more class. On the page for class number 147, there's a photograph, a small round photograph of David Waddell. He's one of the teachers for Vaughan Inglés 4.0. He's a very good teacher, excellent teacher, and he's a member of the I+D, of the R&D department in this company. He works 12 hours a day for you, designing materials for you, trying to think of better ways to teach you. He helps me and other people because we are looking for the magic formula to learn English. For the moment, the magic formula continues to be in your heart and in your mind. So help us with our work. We need your help. See you tomorrow.